Hello friends, and thank you for watching this film. I'm Ritika Sahni, a disability campaigner, trainer, and founder-trustee of NGO Trinayani, which was founded in 2006 with a mission to raise awareness and demystify disability. At Trinayani, we do this by encouraging inclusiveness through workshops, games, curated events, literature, among other things, and employing non-cliched ways to raise the consciousness of the general public, alter its existing mindsets towards disability, and change their attitudes towards people with disabilities. People with disabilities have to face a number of clichés, stereotypes, and myths associated with disability. These are the misconceptions that are deeply rooted in the mental framework of our society. And instead of actually getting to know the reality, people unknowingly live in the realm of stereotypes. Are you aware of the fact that nearly 10% of Indians are persons with disabilities? And the government of India recognizes 21 disabilities. But tell me, do you even see 10 disabled persons for every 100 persons you see around yourself? At the workplaces, on the street, in the mall, at banks, amusement hubs, gardens, marketplaces, flights, trains, buses, wherever. No. Have you wondered why not? They are all real people like you and me. People with aspirations, needs, strengths, desires, joys, and sorrow. People wanting to live their lives, running marathons, participating in fashion shows, meeting friends, wanting to work and getting opportunities to do so. People who fall in love, who want to grab a cup of coffee, who want to go for a movie, just like any one of us. You know, most of us do not study, work, or even live alongside someone with a disability. They are almost invisible to us, in spite of being the largest minority community in the world. Here is a clip to show you how enterprising, determined, and innovative persons with disabilities can be.
I actually because I can do whatever I want without no fear.
I am Nehal Tiwari. I am 24 years old. I am on autism spectrum. Yes, I studied in mainstream school. It was still ICSE board. I am working in EY as an associate consultant in technology consulting. In EY company, I work on data flow diagram, programming, and also service now.
Through this film, we would like to share relevant information and offer you a different perspective of the world of people with disabilities, providing you a peep into their lives and an opportunity to hear from them directly. But first, here is some basic information about disabilities. Disability can be caused by accident, trauma, genetics, or disease. It can be temporary or permanent, partial or total. There are various types of disability, degrees of disability. Disabilities can be from birth or acquired anytime during the course of one's life. And some people have more than one disability. Many of us are familiar with visible disabilities, like persons using wheelchair, persons using white cane, or on crutches. But there are many around us who have invisible disabilities that are not immediately noticeable. Disabilities like autism, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, chronic pain, learning disabilities, mental illness, all the blood disorders, the list goes on. And just because invisible disabilities are not easy to spot, they are often overlooked and misunderstood. Let's hear it directly from the expert who experiences this.
My name is Shampa Sengupta, and I am a disability activist and a person with psychosocial disabilities. So I am coming here to talk about mental illness. When I started working in the disability sector, I came as an outsider professional. However, in the process, I became a caregiver of a person with disability, someone with mental illness, severe mental illness. And caregiving is a daunting task in our society. We hardly have any kind of support from government, outside people. The family members don't understand, they don't want to help when someone is mentally ill. As a result, it took toll on my own mental health, and I started having depression, severe depression, when I was in my late 30s. So I needed treatment, and I realized that it's very important to talk about my own mental illness, my own experience, because my lived experience is very important to share, and it also helps in bringing down the stigma around mental illness, because a lot of people want to hide it. You need support from family members, from your friends who understand that you are going through a crisis, and give us support when needed.
What we need to realize is that stereotypes and prejudices keep us from accepting and understanding people. Here's a lesson from Angshu Speaks. Angshu has profound hearing impairment and is an assistant professor at the National Institute of Technology, NIT, Durgapur.
Frankly speaking, I don't find any difference because I've always been brought up to be self-confident and believe in myself. So I believe that the way you view yourself is ultimately how others will view you. I feel that if you don't think your disability is going to negatively affect you, then nobody else can affect you negatively either.
Now that you have heard Angshu Speaks, who has a profound hearing impairment, do you actually believe in the stereotype deaf and dumb? Deaf people are not dumb, and not all deaf people are the same. Some deaf people speak very clearly and well, while others do not like to use their voice because their speech is unintelligible or they have what is called a deaf accent. But remember, deaf people have functioning vocal cords, and dumb in this case definitely does not mean unintelligent. Let's meet our friends Sunil and Shweta Sahasrabuddhe, both deaf adults and sign language users.
Hello, I'm Sunil Sahasrabuddhe. She is my wife.
I'm Shweta Sahasrabuddhe.
Usually I'm talking, but I'm proud sign language user. I'm born deaf to my deaf family. I have younger brother. We all four of us grew up using sign language.
मेरे घर में भी सब हियरिंग पेरेंट है. मैं एक्चुअली डेफ हूँ. मैं बचपन से बात करती थी, लेकिन सुनील के मिलने के बाद साइन लैंग्वेज सीखा. आई एम प्राउड ऑफ साइन लैंग्वेज यूजर.
Currently I'm engaged with Alia Varjung, National Institute for Speech and Hearing and Impaired. I work as a research assistant. I also run my own consultancy company to provide sign language related consultancy to provide accessibility solutions. We deaf people are deaf, we are impaired, we cannot hear, but we are not dumb. We are very intelligent people. I speak, but I am proud of sign language user. Our community uses sign language.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We often feel that people with disabilities deserve to be pitied or do not have a good quality of life. But I think most of it depends on the education that one receives. Watch what Disha Pandya, who's a daughter, sister, wife, mother, and has achondroplasia dwarfism, has to say about this.
I've always said this, that education is the best sword to fight any war in the world. I think education is what makes people wise. And when I say education, it doesn't only come from academics. It also comes from kind of experience and exposure that you've had in life. Opportunities are always endless. So if you try and untap them, that's where you become more and more educated. And that's the sword that helps you conquer almost everything.
Though some disabilities are congenital, that we learned earlier, happens at birth. But remember, we all stand the risk of being rendered disabled at any point of time in our lives. Disability can happen to anybody, anywhere, anytime. What if it happens to our loved ones? Would you still prefer ignorance in such a situation? Let's hear from Chirag Chauhan and Sunita Sancheti. Both acquired their disabilities later in their lives, and it's important to notice how both their attitudes towards disability changed after that.
Hi, I'm Chirag Chauhan, Chartered Accountant. I got a spinal cord injury and currently I'm using wheelchair. In 2006, during Mumbai train bomb blast, I acquired spinal cord injury. Particle from the metal particle from the train hit my spine and it got permanently damaged. And after that, I have to be on wheelchair because you lost the sensation, touch and feeling from the area where it got hit in your lower body part. So technically it is termed as paraplegia. Disability is something which can happen to anyone. In my life journey, I have realized we should not wait it to happen to you. We should understand the differences and be accepting each.
I'm Sunita Sancheti. I'm part of my family business, handling taxation. In 1987, I acquired spine injury due to medical negligence during my spine surgery. I had never given disability a thought till then, but I realized the importance of family and friends and how important it is to be empathetic towards our fellow beings.
As non-disabled people, we have so many assumptions about people with disabilities. Once again, let's hear from Angshu about facing stigma.
The biggest stigma that people in the society have about people with disabilities is that they are incompetent and cannot do anything in a proper manner. I think that's very untrue because given an opportunity and given the proper guidance, they can do everything. Like me, for example, I was not supposed to speak, but now I make a living from speaking.
Now that you've watched that many films, you know that in reality, persons with disabilities are like everyone else. They have their own strengths and weaknesses. Many are professionals in varied areas and find fulfilling ways of living life around their disability. And not all are making cookies, candles, or diyas.
Hi, I'm Varun Sawan. I'm 24 years old. I'm a baker by profession and a passionate marathoner. I'm a person with autism.
Hi, I'm Umakant Wadle from Mumbai. I did my primary education in Happy Women School for the Blind and secondary in the mainstream school. I have been working for Canara Bank since last 12 years. Earlier I was working in back office and preparing data for my seniors in Excel sheets. And now I'm working as a senior manager.
Hi, I am Jaipur Pratney. I am 26 years old. I'm an arts-based therapy practitioner as well as academic coach for children with special needs, and I am on the spectrum.
See, being a disabled only makes you to do things differently, or else you live a very normal life. So I work for 9 to 10 hours. I go to watch movies. I travel my own car. I go on vacation within India and outside India. So life does not life does change a bit, but not that significantly. You do everything like a normal person. Only thing you require is accessible environment, accessible infrastructure. That's the only need we have, nothing else.
This film will be incomplete without touching upon accessibility and access needs of our friends with disabilities. Disability is shaped by physical barriers. Medicine labels which are too small to be read by our friends with low vision or even elderly people. Stairs at the entrance of hospitals or public buildings that prevent our wheelchair user friends to enter it. We asked our friends Manali and Sunita, both wheelchair users, their views on accessibilities.
Wheelchair users in India don't have the confidence because they have been restricted in their mobility, and they don't have the freedom or independence to go about anywhere or do anything on their own because of the inaccessible infrastructure and transportation.
In India, if I compare with Singapore or any other developed country, the accessibility is hardly any. It's very less accessible. So if you go to Singapore or other country, it is 90-95% accessible. All the places, including the amusement park, including the hotels, including the airports, bus, metro, everything. In India, hardly you will find anything accessible. Not even footpaths.
I'm a paraplegic person. And the biggest setback for me was I could not complete my education because my college was inaccessible. I feel it is very important to have accessibility in place, then life will be less challenging for many more like me.
It is needless to say that technological advancement has made all our lives easier. But we tend to overlook the fact that the same applies for our friends with disabilities too. Disabled persons hold various responsible jobs using a variety of assistive devices, applications, tools, and some of them have even adapted their vehicles according to their needs. Take a look. Rahul Ramugade has modified his vehicle with hand controls for braking and acceleration. Whereas Prasad Fanasgaonkar has installed a lift in his vehicle to make it wheelchair accessible.
Gmail login --search --Microsoft /lang TUBE YouTube videos Bing Center App Bar Toolbar Address and Search.
I'm using screen reading software called JAWS, which makes desktop and laptop accessible to us. How sighted people are using computer, in same way we are using with the help of screen reading software, but the text converts into speech.
1800, just a minute. Can you just confirm the number? 1800-425-308.
Now take a look at how the sports and games that we all enjoy get adapted for and by our friends with disabilities. Be it Ludo, Carom, chess, cricket, all adapted for our friends with visual impairment. In blind cricket, for example, they use audible cricket balls made up of plastic, having metal pieces inside to help the cricket players trace the ball by the sound it makes. The Ludo board game, used by blind people, uses Braille tactile system to ensure a smooth play experience. The carom board, on the other hand, has 21 holes instead of the 4-hole traditional board. For our wheelchair user friends, we've got wheelchair cricket, wheelchair basketball, wheelchair badminton, and many other adaptive sports. Remember, there are many national and international sporting events that are organized for friends with different disabilities. We all need to remember that disability does not mean deficiency or incapability. Disability is also not a disease. It is a condition with which one learns to live, enjoying a full life, maybe in a slightly different manner. We hope these short video clips have got your mind working, and you will share your experiences and learnings from this with others, and commit your wholehearted support to educating, employing, working, meeting, interacting, understanding, accepting, and including people with disabilities in everything you do. Remember, it's partly about changing policies and structures. It's mostly about changing hearts. If we truly wish to create a better world for all of us, we need to recognize and accept the rights and abilities of our friends with disabilities and include them in shaping their own future. Let's together create a beautiful world for all.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय है, भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा, उच्छल जलधि तरंगा।